Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's do a complete beginner's guide for the Riftbreaker, shall we? This is an awesome game that I've been having a lot of fun with. Alex from the channel introduced me to it, and I saw it was free on Xbox PC Game Pass, so I checked it out there. I now own it on Steam, courtesy of Alex's generosity, and I thought I'd take everything that I learned from streaming this game and from talking to people about the game on the YouTube comments and try to create a guide to help get new players into the Riftbreaker. It's an awesome crafting, building, tower defense, ARPG, twin-stick shooter, real-time strategy, evocative, StarCraft-y kind of game, and that sounds wild, but it's a mashup of many concepts which are appealing and done in a great way, and the visual presentation is fantastic. The weapons feel great, look great. There's a good arc of progression in the game. So what we're going to do here is fire up a brand new campaign, and I'm going to make a new game and just walk you through the very basics, talking through my thought process. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to tell you the fastest way to get through the game or the best build order or the optimal design for your base and, the best research order or anything like that. Instead, I'm just going to explain the controls, the UI, the fundamentals, and the basics so you know everything about what's going on in the game and can enjoy it at your own pace, because it's just a lot of fun in all phases. So I'm going to click right here for new campaign. Now I'm going to start our campaign on normal difficulty, and I'm going to give it a name of Incompetent Tutorial, just like that. And we're going to go ahead. I'm not going to up the difficulty or play on hardcore mode or anything like that. Feel free to do that or customize it later when you get more familiar with the game, but I think it's great to just jump in on normal. Planet Galatia 37. Wow. Beautiful wildlife. Boom.
Riftbreaker Ashley reporting successful jump procedure.
Roger that. Begin field-based setup.
Here we are in our mech suit. Ashley's ready to go. Firing out robots.
Houston, I've spotted something near the LZ. It's closing in.
Boom. So this game will give you some notes of like Factorio, Satisfactory, StarCraft, Avatar, being on Pandora, mech combat, tower defense, all together. And here we are on this lush and vibrant world.
Rift jump successful. All systems check. Gravitational strength 1.05 G. Atmospheric pressure within safe levels. Magnetic field check. Error. Repeat magnetic field check with stationary equipment. Star system positioning check. Milky Way galaxy. Sycorax belt. Planet Galatea 37. Ashley, we have arrived.
Welcome to Galatea 37, Mr. Riggs. It's so beautiful here. Virtual simulations on Earth were good, but this is amazing. An alien tropical paradise, and we're the first humans to experience it.
I'm not exactly human. You have a few parts missing as well. And the paradise part is also left to be determined. Remember your training, Ashley. We should set up a base as soon as possible.
You could at least pretend to be human. Just a bit. But you're right. There's no going home until we can construct a functioning rift station. Let's start with the basics.
Ashley, Construct a headquarters building to secure our presence here. It will allow me to reconstruct if my armor is destroyed.
All right.
We don't have enough carbonium to build an HQ. Let's scout for a deposit and set up our base close to it. We need to move quick. It's probably a matter of time before the natives spot us.
Okay. So I'm going to quickly... that's all right. I'm just going to look around and talk without doing too much and explain to you what's going on. So I couldn't talk much in the opening sequence because there's a lot of dialogue in this game between Ashley, the human inside this mech or this Riftbreaker, and the AI. And they explain, what you're doing and how to play in a fun way. But now that we're here, let's just take a look at the screen. In the upper left, you're going to see the objectives. It says set up a base. We need to gather carbonium, which is a resource. We have 153 of the 200 that we need. We also need to construct the headquarters building. In the lower left, you're going to see your information about your mech, your weapons that you have equipped, your armor, your health, and your fast options. So let's talk about that. You'll see that on my mech, in my left hand, I have a sword. And with left click, I can swing that sword. And I have a machine gun in my right hand. And with right click, I can shoot that machine gun. Now you can push Q to change the equipped weapon in your left hand, but we only have one right now. And you can push E, to change the equipped weapon in your right hand. And now it changes it to this kind of like charge up pulse rifle. So you have to hold right click to kind of charge this weapon up until it's ready to go and let it go and it fires. Now you'll notice that as I move the mouse around, my character will face that direction wherever the mouse is pointing and just kind of pivots in place. And that indicates the direction that you're firing in. There's always, at least on most guns, a red laser scope line that you can see radiating out from my gun, which tells you and reminds you visually, like, this is the direction that you're firing. All right? So that explains the weapons. The blue bar is your armor, which replenishes over time. Your green bar is your health, which also replenishes, but you can use med packs or med kits to repair your health. That is on the bottom left. You'll see the numbers 1 through 8 and left shift. Those are kind of like your hot bars. If I push 1 on the keypad, that will use my health pack. And if I push 2, I will lay a mine on the ground. Now, I can't blow this up and I can't be hurt by it. Even if it does explode, it's for enemies, okay? So that's how you could do that. And then if I push left shift, you see I kind of charge forward. It's my mobility option for my mech. In the upper right corner, you're going to see a breakdown of your resource production and capacity. So we're producing no power. That's the lightning bolt. Carbonium are those kind of hexagons that are, there's 3 of them that are linked together. I have 153 and I can store 300. And then below that, you'll see ironium, the kind of orange bar. I have maximum of that. Actually, while they were talking, I was standing on this ironium ore node, and it says excavate ironium ore, and I was just holding the space bar to use my manual drill to do that. But I can't do any more because I'm at maximum. The green arrows to the left of those resources indicate how much you're producing and if you're at a gain or if you're at a deficit. So if you see that and it's a minus and it's a red number, that means you're at a deficit of this resource, whether it's power or carbonium or ironium. So the bottom right has a mini-map that expands as you uncover the fog of war, and it's color-coded, so the ironium deposits on this mini-map are orange, as you can see. All right? And we'll talk more about this. You can also see the time of day and what day it is. Time is moving, and you can see it's nighttime, that it's getting darker. And I'm just going to walk us around right now and look for some carbonium. Now, this is mud. It's going to slow us down, but we can kind of use shift to run through this. And the brown on the minimap is the mud. You can see it there. And here we go, carbonium. It's this bluish stuff. So I can just hold spacebar to use my drill and pick this up. And then above the minimap in the lower right, you can see how much I'm gaining of carbonium. And in the upper right, you can see it filling up. You can either look at the number or you can look at this yellow bar that gives you a visual.
Finally. Let's place it close to a carbonium deposit. This will help us speed up resource production.
All right, so I'm just going to get max carbonium. And you can see it says +4 carbonium while I'm mining it. And then if I let go, that number will slowly degrade, and the rate at which I'm gaining carbonium will go to 0. Now on the minimap right here, you can see these red dots. These are bad guys. There's enemies right above me. I'm going to push E to switch to my machine gun. And I'm going to show you. There's bad guys right here. Lots of them. All right, these little bad guys are going to come at me, and I'm just walking backwards, and I'm going to swing with left click my mouse to swing my sword and fight them, because I don't want them messing with me while I'm trying to build my headquarters. There's also some bigger guys over here. These guys, all the wildlife are different. You can see they want to shoot us with their tails. These kind of green, glowy poison globs. And just walk around, strafe around, and fire them. Now we're out of ammo, so we need to switch to a different gun. We've aggravated another pack of enemies, but this swarmer kind of group of enemies, you can see I'm just backing away, fighting them, swinging my sword. They're really easy, they don't hurt us that much, and the sword dominates them. Now, it's time for us to build our base. You can always move your base, but it's best to try to build it near the carbonium like they say, but you also want plenty of space to be able to expand. So this is actually a fine place to build it. I'm going to build it right here next to this rock to create a natural barrier to protect my headquarters, because if your headquarters gets broken and destroyed, game over. That doesn't happen very easily. It's never happened to me in my Let's Play of the game, but it could happen. All right, so we're going to go left control to build it. Now, I'm using mouse and keyboard for this tutorial. When I play, I switch between both control schemes. Sometimes I use a controller if I want to just, be more casual and console style with it. Other times, I use mouse and keyboard. I find mouse and keyboard to be way more friendly for precise positioning when you're building, but I like the controller better for combat. So your mileage may vary, of course. I'm just going to let you know. That's why you see left control instead of controller commands on the screen for the tutorial. So once I do this, I bring up the build menu. Now this comes up on the heads-up display or the HUD in the bottom center of the screen. And you're going to see that there are 6 buttons here. It defaults to this button that looks like the Riftbreaker icon. And these are like the big buildings that you can make. And one of them is your headquarters, like your main buildings, your armory where you do your weapon stuff, your communications hub where you research with Earth, your rift station where you connect to the different planets. And yes, this goes interplanetary. So I'm going to build our headquarters. And when I select this, okay, you'll notice that it brings this up and there's a ghosted image of what this will look like. You can rotate it with the mouse wheel. As long as it's blue, you can build it. If you see I try to build it here, it turns red, meaning you can't build it. And I'm just going to put it right on top there. And, oh, I can't build it there. There.
Headquarters construction is in progress. This is going to be our main base of operations on Galatea 37, our new home.
We have to protect this building at all costs. You will be teleported here whenever I am critically damaged. There is no other backup if this building is destroyed.
That's basic training, Mr. Riggs. Let's focus on the less obvious things.
I am required to remind you of basic protocol, even if we've done this before.
Oh boy.
We need to expand the base. Let's build a carbonium factory to do the digging for us.
Yes, we've got much more interesting things to do. Let's automate this.
100%. So you can right-click to close whatever menu you're involved in. I just did it. By the way, you'll see the game is auto-saving it. It just does this at a timed interval that you can change. I like it because bad things can happen. You already see these red dots. So once we've built our headquarters here, you'll notice there's like a white circle that's been uncovered of the map. It's kind of like a built-in radar that the headquarters has. And there's enemies here and here, so we got to keep an eye on them. Now, these enemy packs, unless the game tells you that enemies are approaching your base, they will not move from the location that they're at.
We really need that carbonium.
I know. Unless you move toward them. So I'm going to push left control, and we're going to go to this shovel icon. So remember, we were at the Riftbreaker icon before. Let's go to the shovel, which is like
I'm sure
production.
That our will not go unnoticed. We should build up our base as quickly as
I know.
possible.
Okay, and we're going to select Carbonium Factory.
Standard protocol advises to set up walls and sentinel towers around the base. However, I don't expect as much aggression from the native fauna as in the simulation.
We're going to be attacked in 7 minutes.
So far, it looks like the long-range quantum scans were very accurate. The local fauna and flora appear almost exactly like during training. Follow the protocol, Ashley.
The environment in the simulation was very accurate, that's true. But the scenario was crafted by Riftbreaker Command. They usually focus on the brute force aspect of these missions.
Do you want to run a brute force check if this is a simulation?
You never give up, do you?
Do you?
Okay, Mr. Stubborn. I guess it won't hurt to set up some solid defenses, just in case.
Okay.
Thank you, Captain Novak.
So you could see there
You're
wasn't very
welcome,
much
Mr.
space here, and I
Our
built
base will require huge amounts
2
of power to
carbonium
operate.
ore factories.
Right now, we can only construct some basic power plants, wind turbines, and carbonium power plants.
Wind turbines are less effective, but they work around the clock. Carbonium power plants are very effective, but they use up the deposits that they are placed on.
In the beginning, it's best to use a combination of these power sources. We can balance energy peaks and shortages by storing excess energy in energy storages. Also, remember to connect all buildings to the power grid using energy connectors. They connect all buildings within their area of operation, even if power lines are not visible.
Okay. So, when I'm trying to build these carbonium factories, I only had room to build 2 of them. Now, when you build anything, in the lower left, you get a tooltip that pops up that explains how much health the building has, the rate at which it's, for this, and the specifics of the building. So for this one, it's giving us 1 carbonium per second, but it takes 20 energy per second. And so we need to maintain energy, but we're not producing any. So you could see that the build icon for the power is flashing. Let's click on this, left click. And we can build these 3 structures. Wind turbines, solar panels, and carbonium power plants. Now, I don't really build carbonium power plants because I need so much carbonium. I'm just going to manually gather this while I talk to you. I like to build wind turbines and solar panels. Now, there are periodic interruptions, like the wind dies down, there's a storm, or it's night, and so the different types of energy gathering might not work. So you want to build like a good balance. All right, that's enough for now. I'm going to go ahead and push left control, and I'm going to build a wind turbine, and I'm just going to build it right here. And you'll notice that these like white pipes, or these whitish blue pipes appear. These are the power lines, and these are automatically being placed when I build these. So I'm going to drop down 2 wind turbines, okay? And your headquarters actually does produce 20 energy per second. So once I connected these, that was a comet flying overhead, by the way, which you can see on the minimap. And it crashes, and there's like resources that it gives you if you can go find it. But we're not under attack or anything. So I could have just connected these factories right to my headquarters to get some power. But now, if you look in the upper right, we are actually producing a surplus of energy. So this is good, but we need more. More. This is a game like many automation and building games of scale. You want a ton of stuff.
Ashley, I strongly advise you to construct an armory. It will allow us to craft new weapons and upgrades, and also manufacture field repair kits, as well as other usable items.
And it will produce more ammunition for your guns. Yes, that is an important building.
All right, so they want us to build an armory, but we need to build towers to defend first. So I'm going to go to the shield icon in the bottom center of our build menu on the HUD, and I'm going to build some of these sentinel towers. Now, some of these items have like a keyboard shortcut. So if I push X, for example, it just selects the tower. And I like to build these things right around, when we're starting out, just right around our headquarters, just in case anything ever gets this close. Okay? You can move these out later if you want. And that gives me a nice little structure. And I'm going to push C to build walls.
Additional AI hubs to expand our defenses. Remember to build more power plants before you do that. AI hubs consume a lot of energy.
All right, so what they're saying is that the towers need AI hubs to be operated, basically. And so you have to build this building called an AI hub to increase the number of towers that you can have. So we'll do that in a moment. But what I'm doing is building walls. So this is in the defense setting of the build menu, and it's the far left. You can push C as the shortcut, and you just left click these babies, and you can kind of just drag them. And I'm going to wall this in entirely. I do not need access to this or my factory. Everything that your factory gathers just goes into your central storage, and you can get it from anywhere on the map. Now you'll notice this factory went out of power. Okay, you might be like, why did that happen? That happened, I'm finishing up, because I built something on top of its power line. And so we just need to go to energy connector. It's the far left on the power menu. And if I just put a power line right, let's see, will this do it? No. All right, I'm gonna need to build another one. Okay, I have to kind of, yeah, here we go. Build this. And then this is looking a little bit wonky, but we'll get there.
I'm detecting a large group of creatures heading towards our position. It looks like
All right.
our presence is being noticed.
There we go. So now I've built...
Ashley, we don't have a lot of defensive structures. Prepare to fight.
I guess you were right about setting up more defenses.
There we go.
We'll have to handle this ourselves. Remember to use repair kits if necessary.
So the enemies are coming. So you got to right click to get out of build mode when the enemies are coming. And boy, this power is still not fixed. I still can't get power to this for some reason. That's beyond frustrating. Okay, anyway. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to sell that. Here we go.
Base is under attack.
Okay, here's our base under attack. Let's right click, let's fight. They're dead. We didn't even need to.
Ashley, are you still skeptical about the local creature's level of aggression?
I'm skeptical about the procedures for prepping this planet for colonization. Humanity lost its love for nature after the Yellowstone eruption. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to preserve this ecosystem.
Earth is barely habitable at this point. We have to secure Galatea 37 for colonization and resource extraction as soon as possible. Excessive care about the local environment is unnecessary.
That's not entirely true. Other rift-breaking missions have already secured a number of resource-rich planets for humanity. We're not on the brink of extinction.
Our goals on this mission are clear, and our survival and security is the top priority. Damage to the ecosystem is inevitable. You wanted to come here yourself, and you knew what has to be done. Are you doubting the mission?
I know what has to be done. That's not the point. Galatea has to be prepared for colonization. I don't doubt that. If I didn't come here myself, then someone else would have. I believe that we can do this in a better way. We have to defend ourselves and secure the necessary resources to set up the Rift Station. But we don't have to destroy all the wildlife we encounter. Humanity doesn't need another stripped-down factory world. If we want to progress as a species, then we should study this planet and learn how to blend with the environment and prepare a safe home for humanity.
All right. So, now that they're done talking, I'm going to get back to it. Actually, what ended up happening, often when you build structures or walls, you might build over top of a wire and have to rebuild it.
The base up and running. If you'd like to construct more advanced buildings, you'll have to upgrade the headquarters building. Unfortunately, this process also emits a lot of high-frequency energy waves.
These creatures are clearly drawn to our energy emissions, so it will be like an alarm bell for them. We should strengthen our defenses before upgrading the HQ.
Okay, so they have a lot to
Calming
say.
down. Wind turbine power output is coming back to normal.
All right, that was a power update. They have a lot to say early in the game. They don't interrupt you as much as this when you get into it. But anyway, as I was saying, it wasn't that this wasn't connected to power. I just didn't have enough power because it was night and my solar panels had turned off. So we're not storing any power for night, so we might want to build some energy storage to do that. And, you know, you can just drop these wherever you have space. And these will keep any excess power so that when it's night and your solar panels turn off, you'll have some extra power. I'm going to go ahead and build some other structures. I'm going to build an AI core right here. And they want us to build an armory, which takes ironium. So you can see I was over here mining ironium. Now, while all that's building, let's go over here. And this is an automation game. So you saw we just automated the production of, or the gathering of carbonium. Let's do more. Let's go ahead and push left control. And let's go get a ironium factory. And put 1, 2. And we don't have enough carbonium for it right now. And while it's going, I'm just going to drill this. Okay, I can build another one. So if you ever want to build a copy of something that you've already built, you can just push B to open up the picker, and then left click to select something, and then you'll just copy that. So I'm going to fit 4 ironium factories on here, and they will mine this out, but you notice they have no power. So what you could do is you could just select the power tab, and then you could push Z to select the coupler or the energy connector, and then you can drag this out, and you'll see how the max range is. If it connects to the structure, then this is the max range, but over here it's by itself. So I can left click and hold it here, and then I can just run back holding left click to my base, and I will actually build a connector at every interval that's max range so that I can deliver power all the way out here. Now, we don't have enough power for what we want to do, and that's okay. All we need to do is build more energy. You're going to need so much energy. Especially at first, these wind turbines, you can see they only provide 12 per second. And these solars, they provide more, but they're only on during the day. So let's go ahead and just build a ton of wind turbines. Now, you can left click and just drag these babies. I'm out of carbonium. I can't build anymore. I'm not too worried about the construction of my base. You don't have to group things or organize them unless you are going for a particular architecture. But you still need to be able to move around them. You don't want to like box it so you have no path to get through. But it's very nice because there's auto wires that are built as long as things are kind of relatively close to each other to give them power. This is all going right now. You saw that the wind power was damaged a little bit. And we are losing energy at the moment, so we need to make more and more and more turbines. I'm going to select this, and we can build 2 more here. All right, and then let's just make sure that these are all connected. There we go. Now, these actually didn't connect to this when I built them. This gate interrupted them, so I had to kind of drop down another connector, and now you can see we're actually at a surplus. You'll notice it didn't change when I built these 3. If things are touching, they definitely connect and share power, but sometimes it's a little wonky. So when you build something, just make sure, like, you could see these little connectors going between it. If you see that ghosted pipeline or wire going around, then you know it's just going to drop into your power grid.
Build more storage facilities.
There we go. And the ironium storage is already full now, so that's fantastic. And we're going to go here, and she wants us to build a armory, and so does the AI, frankly. So I'm going to build this. Remember, you don't have to necessarily be able to get to it, but I'll build it right here. It's close by, and it takes a while for it to build. Now, if I go here, I can currently build a carbonium factory, an ironium factory, and a solid material storage. This solid material storage, if I build this, it will increase the capacity of the ore that I can hold, and it goes for both. You don't have to organize this or worry about what's going into either one. This will just increase the flat capacity of all solid materials. So, it says right here, additional resources, solid resources plus 200. So if I build this, okay, I'm going to build one right here. I'm going to select this. This is in the production tab, the shovel of the build menu. I'm going to drop it in, and you'll see it's going to take 12 seconds, and we'll just wait till this builds. Now watch this. We're at 350 max for carbonium and ironium, and that goes up plus 200, just like it says.
To craft new items. It will also automatically manufacture ammunition for my weapons.
So what this will do is it produces ammo for our weapons. So this is amazing because, like, for example, let me right click to get out of this, and let me push E to go to my machine gun. You can see that I have 80 out of 320 bullets. Now this armory is going to start churning it out, and over time you'll see that my bullets went up to 160. This thing is now replenishing bullets. So over time, once you have armories, you can get your ammo back, so you can fight longer. Now, if I go to the picker and select this, you'll notice I can't build another armory. Now, why can't I build an armory? If I go here, on the armory, in the Riftbreaker tab of the build menu, you'll notice that it says building limit 1. It's kind of flashing red, so I can only have 1. But later, as I upgrade my headquarters and get more license to build further armories, the more I have, the faster my ammo will go. So our wind turbines are going to go down in power, which is a shame. All right. And I'm going to use the picker. I'm going to build some more storage.
Slow today.
And we need more power. So let's see what else we can build. I'm going to go to the control build panel. We still need to build 2 more sentinel towers to finish the quest. So I'm going to build some, but I'm going to build them a little bit further out this time and just kind of expand my base just a bit. This is something that you always want to do, is just start pushing your base. Typically you want to do this with walls, but it's early enough right now that I'm not too concerned. I can defend it manually. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and connect this to power because it won't fire. You can see the lightning bolt icon means it doesn't have any power. Now we're at a deficit of power because it's night and our turbines can't go, but you can see this number dropping down. This is our stored power. So we had a bunch of power stored, but even that is dropping. So I'm going to use the picker, and we need to build more wind turbines. They aren't producing very much, but it's better than zero. One thing
projection is returning back to statistically normal values.
There we go.
Wind turbines are back at nominal power levels.
Alright, I'm going to fight through these enemies right here. You could also just drag them back to your base and have your turrets just take them out in tower defense style. The reason I'm doing this right now is because I want to find more carbonium. I just don't have enough access. So I'm just fighting these guys with my sword.
Storage is full. Build more storage facilities.
So Ironium is full. Ironium's doing great, but Carbonium is not, and here's some Carbonium, and here's a bunch of it. So I want to expand my network probably to include this. I'm going to push left control. We're going to go to the shovel, and we're going to build Carbonium factories and try to maximize this. But we don't even have Carbonium. I just have to stand here and drill Carbonium to even be able to build more. Alright, so what we're going to need to do is connect this to the power grid first things first. So I'm going to push Z and build a energy connector as far as this will go. And unfortunately they won't go across the mud, so we're going to need to build this up and around the mud. There. And then I'm going to walk this all the way back, holding left click and just running. There we go. And then now that'll provide power out there. Again, this is unprotected, but as long as it's early game and nothing's attacking me, this will be okay. But we're going to fortify it. I'm going to just use the picker and build another one here. And build another one here. And here. Can I fit one more? No. So there's 4. I'm then going to go into the sentry. I'm going to build a turret right there. And I'm going to try to wall this entire thing in. Again, I don't have enough carbonium, so I'm going to drill for it while this happens. So, unlike many automation games, it's streamlined in some regards. Like, I don't have to worry about transporting this with conveyor belts back to the base or anything like that. It just gets delivered. I'm going to build this all the way over like that. There we go. And I'll build one more sentry turret down here. And now we're getting way more carbonium, and this is sort of protected. Eventually, what you're going to want to do is just incorporate this into your central base. You're kind of building at your central point where you have your headquarters, and then you're just going to kind of radiate out from that, increasing and taking up more territory as the demands of your base increase and you want more access to resources and supplies. So this is good for us, but I will have to run over and probably manually defend that. You'll get an alert if your base is under attack, but until we have... actually, you know what? Let's build this. Let's talk about this. I'm going to build a rift portal. You can already build this. It's in defense, and its shortcut is V. I'm going to build one right... here is fine. And I'll actually wall this in. Like this. And protect it. And I'll build a gate. So a gate is right next to a wall. You could build it right on top of an existing. There we go. Wall, and it will just remove it and build it there. It takes a second, but only you can move through it. Okay, so once this gets built, you'll see that I have gates. Okay, this is actually not connected correctly. I need to put walls here and here to have this gate actually not have a gap. But if I now run through this, I can even get in here. They automatically open and close. And this rift portal, check this out. You can push M, well, not right now, but eventually, once it's done saving it, you can push M, and at any time, you can left click on your headquarters to just like teleport right to it. And then I can push M, and this triangle where I built the rift portal, that's now available, and I can just teleport right over here.
Storage is full. We should construct more storage buildings.
Now, because of that, I'm actually going to go into the build menu, and I'm going to build a gate right here so I can actually get out, because it's kind of embarrassing that I can't.
Ironium storage is full.
There we
Building
go.
More storage facilities.
Now, you have to wait for it to build before you can get out. All right, so let me...
Carbonium storage is full. Build more storage facilities.
Indeed.
Carbonium storage is full. Build more storage facilities.
All right, so they're telling us about our storage, and this is something they're going to constantly get on you about is storage, but it's a good thing. It means that we can hold more. So now we have a gate, and if I push M to bring up the map, we can warp in between. We can go back over here to this facility that we've built and defend it if anything happens. So the game will alert you if enemies are attacking your base, and you can see on the map where that's happening. And then if you've got a good teleport network set up, you can bounce around between them. So I'm actually going to go back to our central base, and we need to build some more storage so that we can hold more supplies and such. Here's our armory. Here's our AI core. Here's storage here. Now, again, you can group things together so that it's easier for you to identify, how many you have. I just pushed B to use the picker tool. I clicked on the storage, and I'm just going to build a couple more. Now, these things are great because, as you can see in the lower left corner, the solid material storage, they do not take power. So they just take 100 carbonium each to build, and then they boost your capacity by 200. So I'm going to drop a ton of these in here. Because I've got the carbonium, and you can see we're picking up, a surplus of carbonium at the moment. So this is going to fill right back up, and now we have a huge reserve. It's gone all the way up to 2150. All right, so this is how much we've boosted our storage by, and I'm just grouping these together. And we can look at our power grid and see that we're actually approaching a problem with power. So what I want to do is build more power. I'm going to build some more wind turbines. And I'm just going to hold left click, and you can drag as long as you've got the supplies. And you can build a ton.
Warning. A large group of creatures is gathering near our base.
Okay.
Prepare for an incoming attack.
So when this says this, you can see in the lower left, that's where the skull is. And the skull in the map means where the enemies are coming from. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click away. And they're going to be hitting this part of our base first, most probably, which is our outpost. So I need to be standing here to help defend it. And if we want, we can build some more towers. So I can push picker on this tower, put another one here. And now you can see if I tried to build another tower rather, and I clicked on this, I'm going to get a problem, and it's going to have in a box with red corners the AI core symbol, meaning like you don't have enough AI cores to manage more towers. So I can't really build any more at the moment unless I build an AI core, which I can. I could build one right here. And again, it doesn't matter if this is an outpost. I can just build walls around this, give it a little bit of defense. And there's absolutely no reason to do that. I'm just doing it on the fly so that I can better defend this section. I'd like to have a gun right down here. Now watch this. This gun I'm going to put inside walls, but you'll see it has no power. So we'd need to go to power and then drop power right there. and then push C to put a wall right there. Just kind of put this in a little fenced-in area. We have about 17 seconds before they arrive. So I'm going to right-click to get out. Remember, if you're going to get into a fight, you got to get out of build mode. So now that you're out of build mode, you could stand here and I've got my sword and my machine gun here. And here they come. And they're going to be coming from here. Now you could stand back for a moment if you want and see how this goes. These enemies that you could see on the map are stationary enemies. So they're not doing anything nasty at the moment. If we walk over there, we'll attract them. Now you can see the countdown in the upper right. It tells you 0, like they're going to start, but it takes them a while to actually reach your base. All right, so 3, 2, 1, and here they come. And then now you can see they're coming here. But this isn't really that hard. And our turrets are doing a pretty good job of blowing this stuff away. But
Base is under attack.
it's okay for us to just go out here and help out. So we can just, use our sword and help out. Now these guys are going to shoot us from far away. These are the kind of things you have to watch out for, is that some of the enemies actually can outrange your turrets. So you need to help out as much as possible if you can. Alright, I'm going to switch over to my charge gun, and then we can just walk up and get the rest of these guys. And is there anybody left attacking us? No. So the only thing that happened badly was this one wall got broken. So we can just push B.
It's getting cloudy. It looks like it's going to rain.
And you could see if I push R, okay, if I open up the build menu and I go to the far right panel, which is the screwdriver and the wrench, I have options like F for sell something,
It's raining.
upgrade,
It will decrease the output from solar panels until it stops.
picker, but I also have repair tool. And when I use the repair tool, it brings up this large green box. And whatever I mouse over, it'll show like the hit points, the green bars of the area. And I can just left click on this and just drop repair bots in. And then you can just drop them up here too. And you'll see these little robots come out. And they take time, but they'll fix the health of everything. This wall is completely destroyed, so I need to push C and build another one. And now this is just fine. We're back in business. So now we have a huge surplus of power with all those wind turbines that we built. You can see we're plus 740. We're plus on carbonium, plus on ironium. And I think it's time to explain some more about the game's menu. So I'm going to push... yeah, this is the best thing to do. Push escape to bring up this menu. Now from here, okay, you can come and you have a ribbon on the top of the screen in the center where you have different tabs. So you can go to the event log right here and you can see everything the game that has told you, either quest objective or just like circumstantial text that and contextual text that arrives in the game. And you can play it back or you can just read it. Now you can go here for the database, and this will fill in when you actually can do research and have that option available. Orbital scanner. This tells us the planet that we're on and the resources that are here, the threat level, and this expands with new planets when we get an orbital scanner and more places to go, but we can't make rifts at the moment. Between planets anyway. Crafting. Okay, so from the crafting panel, look at this. I can actually make some more stuff, and I want to do this right away. So in this anvil and hammer crafting panel, you can make new weapons for yourself to equip. There, in the left, in this column on the screen, it's telling you what I can make that are ranged weapons, melee weapons, movement skills, orbital bombardment, which we need uranium for, and armor plating, which is a upgrade for us. But let's just go to the ranged weapons right now. So I have a blaster. It's already equipped. I also have a small machine gun. If it's equipped, you'll see this kind of icon of your mech on the right. I don't have a shotgun, though, and so I can craft it. It costs 75 carbonium and 250 ironium. You'll see what it costs to craft in the center in this bottom panel, and above it, you'll see a picture of it. You'll see how much damage it does, and you can see it will automatically compare it to a similar type of weapon if you have it. But we don't have a similar type of weapon because we only have one shotgun. And in the bottom right, you'll see the total resources that you have. So I'll craft this item. You have to actually click on craft and hold the left click down to do it. And then I'll say it makes it, and you can say okay, or you can go to inventory immediately and equip it. And the inventory panel that you're seeing right here is actually just the tab to the right of the crafting panel. It's the same thing. And so you can see on it what you have in your left hand and what you have in your right hand. So on the left of the screen it says left hand. This is where my sword is already equipped, but you can right now equip 3 different weapons to each hand that you can toggle between using Q and E on the keyboard. So right here I'm going to click and I'm going to go ahead and equip that shotgun. So I'm going to click on the shotgun. And what you already have equipped is in green, in the down below where it says equipped, and up top are the options that aren't equipped. When you select it, it becomes yellow, all right? And then you need to hit this button in the lower left that says equip. And then now this is in my second slot over here. Now I'm going to go back to the crafting panel actually, and I'm going to make another machine gun. I'm just going to click craft item and I'll hold it down. I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to go back to the inventory panel, and I'm actually going to click down here on this opening on my left hand, and I'm going to equip another machine gun. I'm going to click the unequipped machine gun, make it yellow, click on equip in the bottom left, and now I have a machine gun over here. Now from this screen down at the bottom, you can see my skills and consumables. These are my instant repair kits. These are my mines. But it's telling me that there are new items that are available. So I can click on the number 3, which corresponds to 3 on the keypad, and I can actually make these gravity mines, which I'm not using right now. So these create a black hole, and they rip enemies to shreds while like sucking them in place. So they're really, really good, and I'm going to go ahead and equip them right here. So now we have some gravity mines and upgrades. We have energy sensors right now, which are giving us force field power, mod drop rate up, and resource drop rate up. So what you can do is go push escape and go back to the crafting panel. And I'm actually going to go all the way to the right on the upgrades in the upper left for this shield with the deflection icon, and I'm going to make some armor plating. So I'm going to craft an armor plating, and you can see what this does is it gives you 20 more hit points, 4% physical resist, and 1% resist all. I'm going to go to inventory, and I'm just going to click on in the upper center. I'm going to actually push escape and go back. In the upper center, you'll see where the upgrades are, where I was just looking at the energy sensors, and if I click on the openings, the empty slot, I can now equip this armor plating just like I did my gun. Click on it, not what's green but what's gray, make it yellow, click equip in the lower left, and now I have armor plating. I love armor plating, and it's all I can make right now, so I'm going to go ahead and make some more. I'm going to hold down craft to craft it, and I'm going to go to inventory immediately and just click on my open slot. Now you can also, click on something and you can disassemble it if you want to break it down. So I'm going to equip this one, and I'm going to make one more. Now, you don't have to make more if you don't, want to waste the resources, but you gather these so quickly. And I like to just be as strong as I possibly can be. Equip, and fantastic. Now you could make another. I'm going to go to the crafting panel, go to the melee screen. You can see that we can make a chainsaw. So I'm going to craft this up just to show you it, and go to the inventory, and I'll put it on my right hand, and I'm going to click on the empty slot, click on chainsaw, click on equip. Now you can see I have fully equipped my right and my left hand. Now if I go back to crafting, I've made ranged weapons, melee weapons, movement skills. I already have one equipped, which is when I push shift, I kind of dash ahead. This acid dash looks awesome, but I need palladium, which I have none of. And orbital bombardment, which is a skill I can't use because I don't have any uranium. So now I've crafted everything I can possibly craft at the moment. Now, if I push Q, you'll see I can change over to my shotgun or to a machine gun. And I can actually push E, and I can equip machine guns in both hands, and then hold down left and right click, and you can attack simultaneously with both weapons. Now, you're using the same ammunition pool when you use dueling machine guns, so be careful of that. But I just love dueling machine guns. Now, I'm going to change up my setup, and I'm going to equip the shotgun. Now, you can left-click to use the shotgun, but it's a charged weapon. So if you actually hold left-click, you charge up, and you'll see that the shotgun does even more damage when charged, and it does a ton. And I'm actually going to just show you the chainsaw. So I'm just holding down right-click, and I'm just constantly using the chainsaw and blowing things away. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it's always on, unlike the sword. All right, so if I come over here, look at these guys, and just use the shotgun charge shot. The shotgun is so good. It's very, very powerful. It doesn't have a lot of ammo, but you don't need a lot. It's great.
The rain is over. Turns out that some things are not as different as back on Earth.
All right, blow these guys away. Chainsaw them down. Fantastic. There is, as you can see, a rhthym deposit right there. If I wanted it, I'm not requiring it at the moment, but my power has gone down, and the reason my power went down is because it was raining, and so all of my solar panels, got zonked off, so it's going to take a second for them to stabilize. What I might want to do is build some more. I'm going to push picker and build some more energy storage, and this will give us 10k more energy. So you can see in the upper right where it says I have a surplus of 47 power that I'm making, and I have 31.3k out of 31.3k. If I build another one of these, watch these numbers in the upper right. It's actually going to take 30 seconds to build one more of these. So while that's building, I'm actually going to build some more solar panels. Just going to hold down left click and drag these out. Build a bunch more. And let's just watch our power go up from the solar panels. And here this comes. So you can see now we go to 41.5k because this number over here is how much power we actually have stored. So the blue number is the max capacity that we can store. The yellow number is how much we currently have stored in our batteries. So it's a great idea to have a ton of batteries, so that if it's a storm, like a rainstorm, and what happens is your solar panels go off, then you're going to need some backup power stored to compensate. If there's problem with the wind and your turbines can't work, then you're going to be leaning on your solar panels. And if both don't work, well, then you need some storage. So I'm just making sure we have tons and tons of power, which we do, and then we're going to have a bunch of reserves with these building in. And this is possible because I'm getting so much carbonium and rhthym, and I'm storing it. Now, I'm going to push the B to go to the build menu. I'm going to go over here, and they want us to upgrade the headquarters building. So that's definitely something that we want to do, and I'll show you why. The headquarters right now is at level 1. But if I go over to the headquarters, okay, and I push B to bring up the build menu, and then I click on these two upper arrows or these upper chevrons, it's an upgrade tool, and I mouse over stuff. If the cursor turns green, it means I can upgrade it. Upgrading the headquarters is going to cost me 500 carbonium and rhthym, which I have. However, it will also make a big attack come at the base. I'm going to click on this. And when you click on it, it actually tells you there's going to be a very strong attack, and you say yes. Now, it takes 2 minutes to build this.
This will attract a lot of attention.
We should reinforce our defenses as much as we can. Things are going to get very hot very soon.
This is true. And so I'm going to actually build a few turrets. You can see they're coming from the south, okay? So I'm going to reinforce the south area with some guns so that we have a bit more protection. We need another AI core, no problem. I'm going to build 2, actually. And this needs power. I'm just going to push Z to hot select the power.
I am glad we are back on the same page about properly securing our base.
We can't save this world if we let it kill us. Hey, Mr. Grumpy?
Why do you insist on calling me names?
I hope you're not offended, are you?
No, that would be inefficient.
Oh boy.
Come on, Riggs. Let's not be so serious. I had to give you a better name than what they called you.
Rift Jump and Exploration Megasuit Mark IV, Griffin variant. What is wrong with that name?
It's inefficient.
Heyo. So they bicker back and forth. I'm building some walls. And you could just freely do this. This is what's great about this game. You really get a lot of resources. So there's no sweat just kind of building things up. And I like to build the walls first and then put in the gates. You can see the grid, the square grid. It's very easy to line everything up. It's actually quite friendly to build in this game. I'm not worried about completing my wall around the north of my base because they're coming from the south. So I'm going to build some gates just so I can get in and out easily.
I can sense the ground shaking. I estimate a few thousand creatures running at our base. They are very close. Prepare yourself, Ashley.
They're coming.
We've made all the preparations that we could. Let's go out and meet them.
Yeah. So she wants to go out and meet them, which is fine. I'm just going to build a few more turrets. Try to make life easier on ourselves. And a right click. And I'm going to push. And here we go. I'm going to have shotgun in my left hand and machine gun in my right. And oh, look at this. I'm going to push M. I didn't realize they'd be coming over here. They're going to my outpost. So let's go down and meet them.
Destroyed.
Yeah, they're really giving it to my wall down here. I thought they were coming at my main base. But that's okay. Alright. Gotta take these guys out. They're gonna shoot us from range. I use the health pack. There we go.
We should start downloading new blueprints so we can construct more advanced buildings and items.
Okay.
Build a communications hub as soon as possible.
All right.
Okay, let's remember to build some additional power plants for it. It consumes a lot of energy. This
So-
will buy us some time until the next attack. Let's check what's new after the HQ upgrade.
I'm going to drop some repair bots in. And here's something I like to do. I didn't do it because the attacks aren't super strong at the beginning, but I'm going to push C. I'm going to build some more walls. You can actually just double up on walls to make them even stronger. And here's some things you need to know that as I try to explain everything about the game that I've learned so far. Number one, your turrets can shoot through these walls. Number two, there is no friendly fire. The turrets will not hit you. And if you're shooting at enemies that are around your walls, you are not damaging your own base. So just feel free to like shoot stuff and fortify if you can. All right, you can't build on like the muddy stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and teleport back. All right, and it looks like maybe we took a little damage over here in the corner. What's this green? Oh no, this is. So another thing that happens is if you teleport, okay, away, you leave this green triangle, which is like a waypoint that you can teleport back to. So now I have two right here, which is funny. But the enemies never actually got here, or if they did, they didn't damage anything. Nothing is hurt. Now we're having some power problems. It's night, but we're just drawing on our reserves, so it's not a big deal. You can see it's nighttime, but our reserves are so stout. But we can just push B and build some more wind turbine if we want to be like net positive even in the daytime. These aren't really hard for us to build. Well, then that's a shame. All right. So now they want us to build the communications hub, which is what allows us to actually do research. So I'm going to build a comm hub right there.
Communications hub construction in progress. We can download all the technology blueprints that we need through this building's quantum entanglement template matrix.
Exactly.
It's a pity that we can't upload anything back to Earth. There's so much data to be gathered here. I can't wait to start collecting research specimens.
We will be able to share all of our research data as soon as the Rift station is operational and the rift back to Earth has been opened. Let's focus on that first.
All right, so I'm just kind of walling in the area that's around our base just to do Operation Slowly Make It Larger. Now, our carbonium gathering is kind of petering off a little bit. And you can see there's actually some carbonium right here, which I want. So I'm going to build a gate right there. Right there, make it easy to get in and out. I'm going to finish the wall. And you notice me using these rocks. I like to use natural barriers whenever possible because as far as I understand it, these rocks are like nearly impenetrable. So they just provide a lot of defense. Now there's some cool stuff up here, but there's baddies. So let's get ready for it. Sword these guys down. And machine gun these dudes. Sword.
Picking up again.
They're gone. All right, so we're going to go to build, and we're going to go ahead to here, and we're going to build as many carbonium factories as we can on this. That's a lot. That's awesome. And they want us to build a rift station. Apparently,
construction finished. We can now use it to download new technologies.
How about that? All right, we got the comm hub done. I'm just gonna finish. I'm gonna wall in this little outpost. Oh, okay. You got to get out of build mode so you can do this. Now they're gonna damage my buildings until we take them down. So we want to clear out these turkeys. There we go. Okay. I had a little bit of an inelegant build there because I was defending, but we'll be alright. Okay. Perfect. Now I'm just going to push Z. And try and get ourselves connected to the grid.
The communications hub is operational. We can use it
There we
to
go.
download new technologies.
All right.
We
So they,
should start downloading new technologies as soon as possible. Our loadout for the Rift Jump included only some basic blueprints.
awesome. All right, so now we have a ton more carbonium coming in, and we've got some turrets. Let me make sure you're getting power. Looks like we're at a deficit of power because we built all this stuff. And so whenever you get down on power, the solar panels are off. Just build more. And you're going to need so much until you get more efficient power. Here's our comm hub. We're going to look at that in 1 second. Let me just get this power up to speed here. All right. Now we're good. Okay, so I'm going to push escape and escape. And we talked about these first 5 panels. This is the gear is the options panel, but we haven't done this one. This is research. We couldn't do it until we built the communications hub, so now we're good to go. So from here, you can pick to start doing research projects, okay? Anything that's green means you already know how to do it, and there are 3 tabs for research. There's base and building, there's weapons and equipment, and there's alien research. Now, we can't do any alien research right now. We can only do weapons and base building, okay? So what I recommend is, I mean, you want to just research absolutely everything, but we could get better turrets. We could get the ability to get cobalt, tower ammunition handling, which is phenomenal, okay? I love this. We want this right away. So what you do is you just click on this, all right, and you can add it to the research like that, but you can also just or not. I thought there was a way to queue this up with a mouse click, but anyway, next let's go ahead and get we want radar very badly. So I'm going to add this. Now, once you've clicked one thing, you're doing this first and then this second, and you can just queue up more stuff, a better headquarters, and you can rearrange these in the queue, but I just fill this up. Why not get all of this stuff, right? Add it to the research panel. 6, 7. And do you want better guns? Well, why not? Why not get yourself a better armory? But we can't get this just yet. So, we could get better armor. We could get radar pulse. This is actually really good. Let's get that. All right. So we're researching stuff. We finished this objective. Now, if you push escape and you go back in here, in the bottom right, it shows you the queue. Let's say I don't want headquarters level 3 right here. You can just select it, and you can push the down arrow just to move it down, down, down on the queue. You could take things out of the queue with the X. You could put them all the way to the bottom or all the way to the top with these buttons with the lines, and you can move them up and down with these. So these are just different options you have for your queue, but now we're just researching away. All right, and research just takes time and energy. So as long as you've got those things, you're good to go. Now, some of them have prerequisites that you'll see and get to unlock. So at this point, we've got a really good start to the game. We've learned how to do combat, build towers, build walls, power. We've equipped ourselves. We've crafted items. We can switch our weapons. We can use our consumables.
Build more storage facilities.
Drop mines. We can build storage facilities for resources like this. We can use the picker and build more, or we can build storage facilities for energy if we want. I'll build more of this. You really just can't have enough resources. And we've built outposts. We're mining a lot of things here. And actually, if you go over to...
Now that the basic base setup is complete, we should start working on our primary objective, constructing an interplanetary rift station. It is going to take a long time to build, so we should start working on it as soon as possible.
That's true. It's a massive building with multiple components and pipeline connections for plasma fuel and coolant. It's going to be the central structure in our base, with multiple support buildings, so we should plan a lot of free space around it. Let's start by placing the foundation.
So, you'll see that over here, this factory is having a problem because it's barely got any ironium ore under it, and it's off. It actually has no ironium ore, so it's turned off. So what you can do is you can just push B, and you can go here, and you can just push F to sell this. And then they'll take it apart and get rid of it for you. Now, you could try to use the picker and build another one, maybe here, and let's see if building it here will actually be able to gather resources for us. So I'm going to right-click to close this up. And this is an undefended outpost that we have. So, maybe I just push C and just wall this up to be somewhat responsible. But I would have to come over here and help it if it got attacked. But then again, it's just ironium. It's not the end of the world. We could rebuild it. All right. Well, everyone, I hope you found this first episode of our guide to be useful. This is can be a frenetic game sometimes because, you've got all sorts of warnings and things that you're managing, but it's so much fun. And once you get a grasp on the fundamentals, I really think that you will just have an absolute blast with this fun mashup of games. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I hope you found this useful and informative, and I hope you're enjoying the game. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.